Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome to today's live reading from Ramayana, story of Lord Ram. We are beginning the Aranya Kanda. So Ram, Sita and Lakshman had left the Chitrakoot ashram and now they were heading towards Dandakaranya forest. They have entered the forest actually. As Ram, Sita and Lakshman approached the Dandakaranya forest, they beheld a delightful cluster of cottages inhabited by rishis, surrounded by towering trees laden with fruit and flowers, and resounding with the singing of birds and the chanting of Vedic mantras. The ashram sanctified the hearts of all who beheld it. Kusha grass and garments made of tree bark were spread everywhere, and deer and other wild animals roamed about freely without fear. Ram and Lakshman loosened the strings on the night. Ram took his leave from the sages and ventured even deeper into the forest. With Sita walking in the middle and Lakshman behind, as they walked along, a gigantic, hideous Rakshasa suddenly appeared before them. Clad in a blood-stained tiger skin, he had sunken eyes, long sharp teeth, a jagged jaw, and a large, round, protruding belly. From his spear dangled the heads of 3 lions, 4 tigers, 2 wolves, 10 spotted deer, and an elephant, all dripping with blood. Appearing like death personified, the monster rode ferociously and lunged forward, catching hold of Sita. Then, after quickly retreating some distance, the Rakshas again roared loudly, "I shall take this woman for my wife and drink the blood of you other two." At this, Ram exclaimed, "Alas, seeing Sita being touched by another is more painful for me than to bear the death of my father." Lakshman, however, was in no mood for such talk. He reproached Ram, crying, saying, "How can you merely stand there lamenting? Watch me as I kill this Rakshas." And he vent the anger I have held towards Bharat for so long. The Rakshas called out, "Who are you, intruding into my forest?" Ram replied, "We are 2 Kshatriyas. Why do you dare obstruct us like this, carrying off my wife?" To this the Rakshas said, "My name is Virad. I am the son of Java by his second wife Satrida. In reward for my severe austerities, Lord Brahma benedicted me to become immune from all weapons. Therefore, I advise you to run away while you can and leave this lovely woman for me. Otherwise, I will be forced to kill you." At that, Ram and Lakshman quickly took up their swords and rushed at the Rakshasas. However, even though they severely hacked his body, the wounded Rakshas picked up Ram and Lakshman in his arms and began carrying them away deep into the forest. Upon seeing this, Sita cried out piteously, "O Rakshas, please leave these 2 aside and take me instead." Hearing this, Ram and Lakshman decided to kill Virad at once, exhibiting superhuman prowess. Ram broke off the Rakshasa's right arm while Lakshman wrenched off his left. As Virad fell to the ground, bereft of his senses, Ram and Lakshman continued to beat him with their fists. However, in spite of being smashed and kicked, the Rakshas did not die. Seeing this, Ram told Lakshman, "Since the demon cannot be slain in battle, let us bury him alive. Quickly dig a pit while I guard him." As Lakshman dug, Virad regained consciousness and said to Ram, "I now recognize you. In truth, I am the Gandharva. In fact, I am the Gandharv. Lakshman wrenched off his left as Virat fell to the ground, bereft of his senses. Ram and Lakshman continued to beat him with their fists. However, in spite of being smashed and kicked, the Rakshas did not die. Seeing this, Ram told Lakshman, "Since this demon cannot be slain in battle, let us bury him alive. Quickly dig a pit while I guard him." As Lakshman dug, Virat regained consciousness and said to Ram, "I now recognize you. In truth, I am the Gandharv Tumburu. Because of lusting after the Apsara Rambha, I was cursed by Kuver to become Rakshas until a time that I would be delivered by you." So we can see that everybody is part of Leela here. They are just waiting the arrival of Ram so they can be delivered from the curse they have been stuck in for many lifetimes, we could say. As Lakshman dug, Virat regained consciousness and said to Ram, "I now recognize you. In truth, I am the Gandharv Tumburu." He was lusting after Rambha, so he was cursed by Kuver to become Rakshas until the time he will be delivered by Sri Ram. And he said that, "Please bury me in this hole to release me from my curse. Thereafter, please go to meet the great Rishi Sarbanga, who resides 12 miles from here. When you see him, so he will give you some very beneficial advice." Lakshman continued digging while Ram kept his foot on the Rakshasa's neck. Then when Lakshman had finished, Ram threw the screaming demon deep into the hole and quickly covered him up with the large stones. In this way, Tumburu gave up his Rakshas body and ascended to heaven, relieved of his curse. Formerly, even great demons like Virat were intelligent enough to understand that they were not the body but the eternal spirit souls transmigrating from body to body. Today, due to the influence of the age of Kali, even great scholars and religions cannot understand this truth. In this age, people are intelligent, unfortunate, and not philosophically inclined. So we're watching the Deepdan from Mayapur temple in Srimati Dham Mayapur as well as we are doing our reading. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya has shown his special mercy by delivering the easiest and most sublime method of self-realization, the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, by which one immediately contacts the Lord and qualifies himself to ascend to the spiritual world and live in eternal bliss with him. Ram, Lakshman and Sita set out to see the great sage Sarbanga. As they approached the Rishi's ashram, they were amazed to see King Indra seated upon the did not touch the ground. Indra was accompanied by another demigod and was conversing with Sarbanga, while another celestial chariot drawn by green horses waited in the sky. However, when Indra saw Ram approaching, he told the demigods, "I do not want the Lord to see me yet, but only after he kills Ravan." Indra ascended to the sky on his chariot drawn by 1,000 horses. Having witnessed this wonder, Sita, Ram and Lakshman quickly went and touched Sarbanga's feet. Then, after being welcomed by Rishi, Ram said, "O foremost of the sages, if you are able to discuss the matter, please tell us the purpose of Indra's visit." Sarbanga replied, Sarbanga replied that Indra came here to take me to the Brahmalok, the destination I have earned by my performance of my severe austerities and severe penances. However, I told the King of Heaven that I wanted to see you, knowing that you were nearby. Ram requested Sarbanga to designate a place for him to dwell during the period of his exile. The Rishi said, "O Lord, you should approach the great Rishi Sutikshana. He will provide you with a suitable residence in a most pleasant portion of the forest." Ram, as for myself, I have one request. Till the time has come for me to quit my body. Therefore, I humbly request that I may do so in your presence. Saying this, Sarbanga built a fire, and when he poured ghee upon it, the fire blazed brightly. Then, while chanting mantras, the rishi entered the fire, burning his body to ashes. Immediately after, Sarvanga rose from the fire in the youthful, dazzling, effulgent body. He then ascended to Brahmalok and was welcomed by the inhabitants. Thereafter, the assembled rishis petitioned Ram. Many approached Ram and petitioned, "Many of us who live in this forest are mercilessly killed by the Rakshasas. You may come and see the dead bodies that are still lying there and here and there. O Ram, we humbly request that you give us protection." Ram assured the rishis, "As Kshatriya, I am your servant, thus for your sake I will kill the Rakshas." Accompanied by the sages, Ram proceeded to the ashram of Sutikshna. After receiving Ram's obeisances, the rishi said, "I have been waiting for a visit, O descendant in the dynasty of Raghu. Before ascending to Brahmalok, King Indra came here and informed me of your imminent arrival. When Ram asked Rishi to designate a place for him to reside, Rishi offered him the use of his own cottage. Ram refused, saying, "If we were to remain here by killing the deer, we would become the cause of your unhappiness." Ram, Sita and Lakshman spent the night at morning. Ram took his leave, bowing before the great sage. Sutikshna embraced Ram, inviting him to return to his ashram after visiting the different hermitages in the Dandakaranya forest. Later that day, hoping to tactfully impart some advice to Ram, Sita said, "My dear husband, due to some powerful influence of material nature, it is possible even for a great and noble man to gradually become degraded. Therefore, one should always be very careful to control his mind and senses, avoiding the addictions that result from the material energy. There are 3 sinful activities that should be especially avoided: false speech, sexual relation with another's wife, and cruelty towards those who are not inimical. In your character, there is no trace of the first 2 faults, for you having never uttered a lie, could you think of lusting after another man's wife. However, I see you that you of many innocent animals. Thus, I understand that there is still the contamination of enmity in you. I feel very unhappy that I see how the poor animals are being needlessly killed. My dear Ram, simply by carrying a bow in your hands, you increase the killing propensity, just as putting fuel too near the fire makes it blaze higher." So that's it for the reading for today. It will be continued next time. And take everybody's leave for now. Hare Krishna, Hariam Tat Sat. जय राधा रानी की जय, श्री राधा दामोदर की जय, श्री राधा माधव की जय. We're getting some pretty views, and I don't feel like leaving, but now I will. Hare Krishna.